yourself a solid business, or learn how to create a gym or whatever, but it's not going to teach you about health. You can go out there and do men's work and deal with your emotions and your traumas and all that shit, the subconscious mind. But at the end of the day, they're not teaching you how to be healthy. They're not teaching you how to be wealthy. They're just doing the emotional work. So how do we bring it all together? And that's what we have here. We've got a brotherhood that can really drive the whole man and bring back that zest for life in men. I truly believe men are struggling because they're just feeling so lost and confused. And when you have something to rip your teeth in, you're going to wake up every single day just buzzing at the bit, ready to go, got something to rip into. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm around a band of brothers. There's energy, there's purpose, there's health, there's wealth. I'm making money. I'm feeling more free. It is such a powerful, powerful opportunity. So, look, from my expertise, 15 years in the health industry, this is an absolute no-brainer when we look at this product, when we look at this company, and when we look at the impact of the people that you help with this, you know that you're helping them out for life. And when you can join a group of men who want a better future, you too will shape a better future. You will not find this at the pub. You will not find this at Suncorp Stadium on Origin night. You will not find it on the work site. You just won't find this culture there. And so if you've sat in those cultures questioning, what are we actually doing here as men? Why is the statistics getting so much worse? It's time to take action. And I truly believe that what we have here to offer is unmatched in the marketplace. Unmatched. Find me an option, a business that you can start for $100 a week with the support of health, wealth, and purpose, aligned with a 50-year-old company that's doing $1 billion a year. Find me another opportunity and I'll look at it. But that's why I'm here, is because I had a look at this and I could not look past it. So for me, fellas, obviously there's going to be a bit more info unloaded on the call, but I just need to press the severity of the momentary intensity that we're in right now in our economic cycle when we look at the dollar and when we look at the men's health. Those two combined, it's a clear no-brainer that you need to take action on where we're at. And so if you're sitting there going, fuck, I need to do something with myself, this is a very fertile option for you.
Beautifully said, Jordan. Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, mate.
Mate, I can listen to you speak all day, mate. You just get me in this zone. Like, I've got a short attention span, but I fucking love listening to you talk, man, because it's just real. I've got a filter for truth and a good filter for bullshit. And you just speak from the heart, you speak truth. And being connected with you on this journey has been a real pleasure so far. I know we are going to do a lot of incredible things together, but watching you as a father and hearing your story from the past and how you've transformed your life, man, it lights me up. So thank you for everything you've shared tonight. It's been a pleasure to hear you again.
Thanks, brother. And I'll just tune in there quickly. Like, I just had my second son last weekend. I've been home every day. I've been present. I've been here doing my thing, and money's working in the background. And it's not in a way that I'm not proud of. It's in a way that I know is making a massive impact in the world, in people's health. And I get to do it from my phone or my laptop, a couple of hours a day. Like, honestly, if you take this by the balls and you actually make something of it, there you guys, it's the world's your oyster. It's absolutely amazing. Online business is absolutely incredible, and leveraging value over your time. I mean, as a young father, there's nothing more than I want than to be with my kids every day until they're 10, because they're going to piss off and go and have their own life and hang out with their friends. But until 10, I'm their best mate. And so I'm going to be here. I'm committed to being a present father who earns money from home and earns incredible money. Incredible money. And you can do that too. That's what's so cool about this, and so rewarding as a man, as a father, whatever it is you want, it's there for you. So thanks, Dave. I really appreciate it. And I'm super passionate about helping every single guy on this call. You send me a message. I've got all the time in the world for you.
Yeah,
Let's
beautiful.
go.
Well said, Jordan. I love it. And on that, I just want to congratulate all you men for being here tonight, because obviously you're looking for something, and for us to be able to share it with you is a real honor and privilege. Thanks again, Jordan. That was fire. That was bloody beautiful. Gents, next we're going to pass over to our next guest tonight. Doesn't need much introduction. I've known this gentleman for over 10 years. And we got involved with an online business 10 years ago. We became very good mates. We became quite successful in that business as well. We traveled the world. We led that company right from the trenches, and we stayed close mates ever since. But I found myself in a pretty difficult situation 12 months ago financially, and I reached out to our next guest, and I was like, mate, what are you doing? I had seen him completely transform his life in a very short period of time, and during COVID, when most people were going broke and most people were struggling and most people were locked down, I watched him go from strength to strength to strength until his monthly income started turning into most people's annual income. It was incredible to witness what was happening. And I said, man, whatever you are doing, I've got to have a look at it. And I really want you guys to take what I'm about to say very, very seriously right now. He does not need to be here tonight for any for this business, right? He's become financially free, right? Does not need to be here, but he knows the state of Australian men and how we are hurting out there in the trenches because there is not another vehicle like this. I'm sure many of you have tried so many things that didn't work before, and you've probably got a very high level of skepticism. And I'll say it again, he does not need to be here. He could retire 100% right now and go and surf the rest of the world for the rest of his life. But he's chosen to be here because he's got a freaking massive heart to serve men. And if you're on this call, you are in the right place to hear from a man that I can honestly say I truly love. He's one of my best mates. He's helped me get out of the shit, back on my feet. Living legend. Love you, bro. Daniel Bissico. Over to you, Dano.
Hey, Dave. Thank you so much for that epic introduction. And biggest congratulations for all of you guys showing up tonight in this call. And also massive thanks to Jordan Potts for giving his time, just having his second son last week and what he's been able to inject into this incredible group. So biggest congratulations, all of you legends, for being here. Man, what I want to really stress after Dave's introduction, I just really want to stress, guys, I'm just a normal guy. I just found this opportunity just at the right time in my life when I was at a hurting point. I was in a pain locker of missing my family so much. I was away working. One stage, I missed my daughter, Ellie. She won an Australian gold medal, broke an Australian record for swimming, and I was away working and I missed it. And I was so friggin' brokenhearted that my daughter would ring me up on the phone and say she's won an Australian gold medal and I was away working, I missed it. And I was the dad that would be walking up and down the side of the pool morning and night, every training session. And she always had that dream in driving home in the car, Dad, one day I'm going to have that gold medal placed around my neck. And so I was just in that hurt locker 5.5 years ago, and I did something about it. Just like you guys have got an opportunity off the back of this call tonight to do something about it, to find out some more information about what we're doing online, our incredible company that I'm so proud to be a part of the last 5.5 years, a 50-year strong Japanese-based company with year-in, year-out growth that grew 22.5% through lockdown. This company is about to skyrocket from $1 billion a year profit to over $5 billion a year in the next 2 years. So really want to stress that I'm just a normal guy, had my own landscape and design business here on the Sunshine Coast for 15 years, and I worked my ass off. Not only did I have a landscape and design business, I also did the extra mile to try to get ahead financially for my family. I had the extra job. I had the mowing run on the weekend to try to get ahead. I did the Bitcoin. I did all the other bits and pieces, the fly in, fly out stuff. I did all that kind of stuff to try to get ahead, and I wasn't getting ahead financially in life. And I was stressed out. It stressed out my family. I lost my first relationship, my first wife of 26 years because I was away working. I wasn't a present parent. I was just trying to be a provider. And so when I met my new wife, I decided that things were going to change. I was going to do this totally different, life totally different. Life was going to be on my terms, and I was going to be a present, providing parent that was going to treat the kids, that they were my number one. And so when I got started with this company, I looked at their core values. I looked at their business ethics, and I went, okay, cool. I've just got to follow the path and plan in place and follow the leaders and the leadership where they've gone before. So I've been very, very blessed over the last 5.5 years to have an incredible mentor in this business. His name is Balazs W. Cardos. He now has the fastest and biggest growing Enagic team globally. And I just said what he said, did what he did, and obviously now I've got the results as well. And not only have I got some incredible results, I've been able to help so many other people, mainly ladies, because I do this business side by side with my wife over the last 5.5 years. And we've got an incredible international team now. But it's not until I locked arms with David Niglio and Jordan Potts, Baze Nelson, Brad Rasmus, and a few other men that really want to take this business to the next level. What the ladies have created here in Australia and around the world in the last 5.5 years, and our team is phenomenal. It's totally set us financially free. But I've got a real passion and a real burning desire to be able to help you guys supplement your incomes, get back with your families, be a present dad, raise your own children, take your kids on that dream holiday, be that hero of a dad. So that's why I'm here tonight. I'm not here for the money. I'm not here for Dave's edification. I love Dave, but I'm here for you guys. I'm here because what we have works, and I'm just a normal guy. And there's a lot of guys on this call that I can see that I know. So they know my journey. They know where I was 5.5 years ago, struggling to get by, to where I am today. Been able to buy my dream home at the height of friggin' lockdowns, and the price rises went nuts, and I still bought at the peak. I didn't care, because where we are financially now, it didn't matter to us. Both Danny and I both get to drive our dream cars. We both get to have, dream days every day now. We get to spend every day with our kids. And next Wednesday, we're off to Japan. We've got 3 other holidays booked this year already. But our Japan trip, we're going to Okinawa. It's the home of this company called Enagic. This company that we've all been talking about tonight. It's a 50-year strong Japanese-based company. And when I did my research back 5.5 years ago, I was blown away by the oldest company in the world is a Japanese-based company over 1,500 years old. So when Jordan talks about a legacy, this is a real legacy company. There's over 50,000 companies in Japan over 100 years old. And what Mr. Ashira has with this company, Enagic, he's got a 500-year plan to set so many families free with this legacy business. And so just a little bit about the product and the health side of what this has transformed me and my health. I'm 53 years old now. I've been drinking this water for 5.5 years. And where I was 5.5 years ago with my health, I was freaking burnt out. I reckon I felt 65, 75. Today, 5 years down the track, after drinking Enagic's Kangen water, asked Jordan, I went to one of his men's retreats, and I feel I'm in my 20s. I was competing against the guys in their 30s, and I was giving them a run for their money. And so I feel friggin' epic. So within my heart, I honestly believe that this product is phenomenal. It should be in every single home. It's in 1 in 3 homes in Japan. There's over 20,000 of these products getting sold worldwide now. And I just want more men to feel healthier, have better wealth in their life, and have a real purpose. Like Jordan said, have a real purpose in life to be able to thrive, to be able to inspire other people to live a life that they absolutely love. So guys, that's just a little bit about me. I'm super stoked that you guys are showing up. Reach out, check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Go and stalk my page. I'm just a normal guy that just saw this opportunity 5.5 years ago, and I just followed the path that has been already laid out. So if you're looking for more, we're here to help. Back to you, Dave.
Love your work, Dano. Such an epic story. Such an epic story. How a landscaper mowing lawns on the weekend as well to make ends meet has become financially free and is now leading this movement. And just for you guys on the call tonight, I want you to understand as well, hold there 1 second. Someone's just trying to get on the call here. I want you to understand that this is a movement, right? It's not just a business. It's a brotherhood. It's a movement. And the business is just what makes it viable for the health, the wealth, and the purpose. And what I want to do now as we start to wrap up the call, and I'm going to try not to be too long-winded, but I want to share some of my story with you over the last 4 or 5 years and how I've come to this point. Because when I reached out to Dan a little under 12 months ago, about 10 months ago, I was pretty rock bottom. So I'm going to share a screen with you guys and just give you a little bit of background, right, as to what I was actually doing. Tell me if you guys can see this photo here. Come up. So you guys might know who this is. This is a living legend here by the name on the right there. His name's Guy Leach, right? Now, my background in construction, I ended up in sales, in the sales world. And then by chance, I got connected with Guy Leach. He's one of the most well-recognized Ironmen of all time in Australian history. And he was selling defibrillators. Can you believe the irony? Pre-COVID, he was working across multiple industries selling defibrillators, and I became his national sales and marketing manager. And I had, using Leachy's name, I had some massive deals on the table. I was talking to Cricket Australia, to Swimming Australia, the head of the AFL, to the Australian Institute of Sport, to a lot of the top NRL teams. I was talking to some of the largest construction companies about helping them have a heart attack plan in place in case of emergency. This is what Guy Leach was passionate about. Now, when I started speaking up about COVID, do you think I was very good for his brand anymore? Right? I was one of the most outspoken people here in Australia when it came to opposing the medical procedures and opposing the mandates. And so I had to leave my job. And you can imagine what the deals I walked away from. I walked away from millions and millions of dollars, but I stood by my principles because I believe in speaking our truth, and I believe in speaking up, and I believe fundamentally in freedom. That is my most core value, that men, our inherent right is to be free, not to be slaves, not to be anyone's little bitch, but to be free. And I was so passionate about this that people wanted to hear what I had to say. And as fate would have it, this was a book made about the rally in Canberra, right? I'm just going to unblur my screen here. Bear with me 1 sec, guys. Unblur my background. This is a book made about the Canberra rally, the largest rally in Australian history. Some estimates between 250,000 and over 1 million people showed up, right? It was an incredible day. And I ended up being the MC for the day at the largest rally in Australian history. That's how much I believe in freedom, right? That I was willing to walk away from the millions to get the message out there. We've been vindicated now, right? And I don't care what anyone's status is, whether they participated in it or not. What I care now is that you care about the truth, right? And the truth is that we have to find a way to maintain our freedom because this war is going on right now. And the war is two-pronged, right? It is a war on our health and it's a war on our finances. Now, Jordan alluded to this at the start. The machine wants us all sick and they want us broke because sick men and broke men are defenseless for what this agenda wants, right? This is how the mainstream media is rubbing people's faces in it. Is that reading through there okay, Dan?
Perfect.
Yeah.
This was yesterday, guys. The fucking tap water, the tap water is highly carcinogenic. This is what they're telling us, right? Apparently 150 times higher than the safe limits in the US. It really makes you wonder what the hell is going on in Australia. Check out this. This was on 9 News, right? They ran this one saying, oh, by the way, folks, your water supply is completely contaminated. And then this came out on 9 News. They listed all the areas, all the suburbs. Oh, by the way, your water's got carcinogenic chemicals in there, right? As horrifying as all of this is, It was a great day for business yesterday because my phone rang off the hook because people who were on the fence saying, right, Dave, you've been talking about water for 8 months, 9, 10 months now. I've got a little bit of a knack. This is why I've got an audience online. I've got a bit of a knack for picking things before they happen. And I started telling my inner circle, fucking water is going to be the next big thing. And here we are. And you guys are in the hot seat to capitalize on that. I hope you realize how important your seat at this table is right now. It fucking gets me fired up, man. Here's the other thing. This is the other thing, right? They put this in our faces. Record numbers of businesses going under. And I've got to get this through, right? Do you think this is going to improve or get worse? I'm not here to scare anyone. I'm just here to ask you the question. Is the situation with small business going to improve or get worse? You can answer the question yourself. Let me share the screen with you guys. I'm just going to hit this home so you understand how important your seat at this table really is. Tell me when my screen's sharing again.
Perfect, Dave.
Check out this, gents. Business insolvencies hit record highs. How many men are fucked right now realizing that their business does not work anymore in this economy? What are they looking for? Check out this one. We are at a point now in Australia where 40 to 50% of small businesses make no profit. Fucking let this sink in, man. The horse that you're probably backing right now is a dead horse or soon to be dead. This is how important your seat at this table is. This is what's coming as well. AI is coming to wipe out the middle class. This is not by accident. They want men sick and broke, right? The AI is going to widen the gap between the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots. Up to 40 to 50% of jobs will go. And so that's why we got you on this call tonight to say, hey, you know what? We have something real. And what I'm going to break down for you tonight, right, is just a very short snapshot of what it involves to get started. If I covered all the information, we'd be here for a week. It's just the basics so you know what's expected, what the investment is, and if it's for you or not. So bear with me because I haven't put this in a PowerPoint slide. But actually, before I share screen, what I do want to share with you as well is in the last 10 months, actually it was in the first 6 months, I made 6 figures with this business, 6 figures in 6 months. Tell me another business you can do that, okay? Surfing every day, living the life, right? It's radically changed my life. And to be partnered with someone like Daniel has been radically transformative because he knows what's going on out there in the agenda, but he's always solutions focused. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I get pretty down about the state of the world. But this whole thing has given me hope again. So I could harp on for a while. I'm going to share a couple of things with you now before we start wrapping up. First of all, what do we actually promote? What do we distribute? Oops, wrong screen. Sorry, guys. Let me know when I get this right for you. Bit of a rookie on the...
Can I jump in there for a second, David?
Please.
So I know a lot of men are probably sitting there thinking, what is actually going on here? Basically, when we look at traditional businesses, it's going to cost you a lot of money. I've started 4 businesses myself. The gym alone cost me over $100,000 to get started. We were in business for 6 years. We were doing like $600K a year and paying ourselves $80,000. Very, very low profits, very high output, managing a community, managing this, their overheads, staff, everything. If you've got any kind of construction business or a cafe or anything, it's gonna be a serious shit fight to pull a profit out of that thing. If you're an employee, well, wages aren't going up and your costs of living are going through the roof. And so with where I'm at, with the way I look at business after being in business now for 10 years, Online business is such a lucrative thing because there is no overheads, especially with this model as well. You're not dealing with stock, you're not dealing with inventory, you're not dealing with warehouses, you're not dealing with staff and employees and all of these things. This is a pure redistribution business, and this company pays you incredible commissions for helping people out with a real world solution, which is the quality of our water. I'm not sure if you're aware, but your human body is made up of 70% water. And so people will try and fix their diets, they'll try and train, they'll try and exercise, they'll try and do all these things to get healthy. But if they don't fix their water, 70% of their effort is going down the toilet, the shitter, with bad quality things coming into their body. So we are placing ourselves as a solution focused resource in the most important resource for the human body and the world's best medical device when it comes to water quality. And so what we are teaching men is how to simplify business and how to position yourself in a place of authority, in a place of solution, so that people draw themselves to you. So for instance, I was just at the cafe today and I had a chat with one lady and one man. One lady was an elderly woman. She told me that she was struggling with her skin. She had psoriasis. I asked her basically a few questions and it got down to the point where she said she just is on drinking tap water. And then I started asking her about molecular hydrogen. Have you heard of it? Have you heard about the technology? Have you heard of what tap water can do for you? Within 10 minutes, she was interested in this company. So it's not very hard to lead people to water because it is the most important thing. And so many people are unaware of what's actually happening. And so you as a man can very easily learn skills that can make you 4 or 5 figure weeks very easily, simply by being an entrepreneur. And what I mean by that is you are creating a business within an established business. So you don't have to create the systems, the processes, the protocols, all of that shit on top that takes years to dial in. All you have to do is invest, get the products, and then you have your own entrepreneur business that you can take and grab by the horns and go after it. So I've got guys who have made their profits, their commissions in the first few days through conversations with people. And this doesn't have to be your friends and family. This is every day. This is on the work site. This is at the gym. This is everywhere you're going. People are either drinking plastic water, they're drinking tap water, they're showering their kids in toxic tap water. There is so much shit out there, so many opportunities to provide solutions. And if you can wrap your head around that, if you get in a system that's going to teach you exactly what to do, all it takes is you applying your hard workers mentality that you've been ingrained to think about and have, and apply it to a smarter vehicle. And this is your way out. What's the alternative? You keep working for 1,000, 1,500, $2,000 a week. Cost of living is going to destroy you. It is so important as a man that you get above 10K a month. And then with that 10K a month, you actually start investing and you start putting it into real producing assets so that you as a man can get ahead and actually create something in your life. Because if you don't take this seriously, what is the alternative? Traditional business? As Dave just showed you, it is a shit show out there. And so, like I said, what I think we have here is such an incredible offer for guys to really make a massive difference in their life. So I'll swing it back to you, Davo, but I just wanted to say, like, it is so simple. All you need to do is partner with people that can teach you the simplicity and show you the ropes.
Beautiful. Well, that leads me perfectly into this slide, Jordan. And is my slide up right now, Jordan?
That's it, brother.
So just to recap what Jordan was saying there, fellas, these are pretty much the two options that every man's faced with, right? How can you get ahead? And you can weigh up these options here on the left. Just work more hours, more time away from your family, or the things that you love to do, or the gym, or whatever it is. You can just work yourself into the ground and try and get ahead. Or you may consider another business. Now, we've just covered that 40 to 50% of businesses are no longer profitable. 100,000 businesses in Australia went bust in the last 12 months. So even to start a traditional business, you're looking at minimum 50 and up to 500K, right? Even just opening a coffee van, 50 to 80K for a basic coffee van. You've got to sell a lot of coffee, right? Jordan shared with us before about his journeys with the gym as well. Hard work, not much reward as far as finances go. You might consider retraining. You're looking at 2 to 6 years in this economy. By the time you get to the end of your retraining, will that job even exist anymore? Who knows? or this is a big part of where they want you, right? Broke and sick and on the government crumbs. The government welfare, the universal basic income, and the bug sandwiches they'll be handing out at Centrelink. Like eatsy bugs. That's pretty much the plan, folks. I make light of it, but the seriousness of it is for real. Why we went for option 2 is because to start up this business is anywhere from 10 to 20K, depending on what you're looking to do and what is affordable for yourself. But importantly, guys, you would have heard them talking about bird flu. Our business is totally lockdown proof, pandemic proof. Dan's business continued to grow and grow and grow during the entire pandemic. The beautiful thing about this is the earning is uncapped. If you have a coffee van, there's only so much coffee you can make per day, but we have an international online business with completely uncapped earning potential. Like Jordan also said, we don't carry stock. We just partner with an incredible company who takes care of all of that. And I worked today from the beach on the headland in my truck. I did a lot of work, a lot of calls, a lot of emails, but all I need is an internet connection. And the possibility of working overseas, relocating, taking this business anywhere in the world is completely there for you as well. But I think this is one of the most important things. And this is something that the vision of Jordan that he really shared was that we need a brotherhood, right? You cannot be successful. It's very difficult. I should say it's very difficult to be successful on your own. But when you are surrounded by men and warriors on the same path as you, who inspire you and challenge you to be a better man, that is what it is about. And there's a very, very famous quote. And I really hope you guys, if there's anything you take from this call tonight, because we've covered a lot of stuff, if there's anything you take from this call tonight is show me your circle, I will show you your future. And the moment I locked arms with Dan and I made him a very important part of my life changed dramatically. Then I saw Jordan pop onto the stage. I said, I got to meet this motherfucker. I drove from northern New South Wales up to the Sunshine Coast because I want to be around his fire. You show me the 5 people in your life and I'll show you your future. If they're at the pub, if they're at the footy, or if they're smoking bongs, or they're doing lines, or they're just fucked, well, that's your future. You know what I mean? I need to be around high quality men because I know left to my own devices, I can go that way. I can go downhill. I can be at the pub. I can go back to the baggies. I can do all that. I need to be around the fire. And so in closing, gents, I'm going to just share the last 2 slides with you real quick, and then we'll wrap up. Let me know if this one comes up okay. No, it doesn't work, sorry. I'm going to try that again. Is my screen still sharing, Jordan?
Not yet.
Not yet? Sorry, fellas. Bit of a rookie sometimes with the controls here. Share screen. Come back to the desktop. The 4 products that we distribute via referrals. That come up, Jordan?
Yeah, brother.
These are 4 products that are in incredible demand right now. And please let this sink in. They are only available to the public via referral. There is simply no other way to purchase these products unless you go through a referral through a distributor, which we all are. The world's best water product, the hydrogen water ionizers from Enagic, been around for 50 years. I just remind you all, they just told us that the Australian water supply is completely putrid and carcinogenic. We also do a shower system. Why would you hose and shower yourself in carcinogenic chemicals and chlorine and fluoride in hot, steamy water if you could avoid it, right? This is the world's leading shower system, so you are no longer poisoning yourself with the gunk coming out of the tap when you have a shower. This product here, the 3rd one, this is literally just been released. We're the first men in Australia seeing this. It's just become available for pre-order. It is an electromagnetic harmonizer. If you can imagine how many people are concerned about the electromagnetic frequencies in their homes and offices, this product nullifies and makes those frequencies harmless up to a range of 8 meters. It's a big deal, man. You're seeing this first. And lastly, a turmeric supplement, which is incredibly powerful at reducing inflammation, boosting immunity, and you wouldn't believe it, also binding spike protein out of the body. Now we won't go too much further into that. Tell me if my screen's still showing. No, it's not, is it, Jordan?
No, good. All good.
You still got my screen up?
No, just you.
Sorry, rookie error. Last slide, gents. Just going to run through the investment for everyone, and then we will. Has that come up this time?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. We have. Has that come up? The quad and the trifecta?
Yep.
All right, beautiful. Just going to run you through this, man, right? You can get all 4 products. If you were to do that up front, it's about 16.4. And any 4 products in any combination you like, this is just a ballpark figure. There will be some slight changes to that if you mix up the products. Or if you can do that on finance at only $99 a week. It's an incredibly affordable opportunity for an investment. With just 5 sales or 5 referrals, you will be in profit and get a full return on investment. Jordan, how long did it take you to get a return on investment?
I helped 4 families put this stuff in.
Doesn't take long. And if you were just to go for the 3 products, it's about 10.6 up front, or just the 49 roughly weekly to be in business internationally and online. And so in closing, gents, I just want to show you one more slide here, and then we will quickly wrap up the call with some closing thoughts. I'm just going to encourage you guys to consider this as far as where we are at in the world right now. Where is this one gone, fellas? I've lost that slide. Sorry.
2 types of people.
Spotted it. So this is where we're at, gents. There's literally 2 types of men in the world. People who complain, men who complain, they whine, they blame, they make excuses, they overthink, they blame the government, they blame the economy, they're going to blame, and they're going to have poor lifestyle habits as a result. They're going to settle for less and never reach their potential. And then there's 2 other men, there's conscious men. Instead of victim men, there's conscious men who take massive action, who take full responsibility. Sorry about the typo there, we just made these up tonight. But take full responsibility, who are fully accountable for their results in life, who are committed to raising their standards, and who find a way. They make great lifestyle choices, refuse to settle for crumbs, and are committed to being the best versions of themselves. And so, without further ado, I'm just going to wrap up the call. I'm going to pass over to Jordan to share a couple of thoughts, maybe just keep it to another 30, 60 seconds, Jordan, but just some final thoughts to the men on the call tonight.
Yeah, easy, brother. Look, fellas, I'll cut straight to it. I'm not here to bullshit ya. I'm not here to scam. You know, there's some guys fucking playing around in the comments, small minds. Where we're at right now, you've got to ask yourself, what's the alternative? What is the alternative? Are you going to go out there and start your own business and battle rising costs, you know, the decimation of small business? You're seeing so many people go online, so many people, because this is literally the future. Whether you like it or not, this is the future. And you can take it as a bad thing or you can take it as a positive thing. I chose to take it as a good thing. I sold up my traditional business and I decided I wanted to travel the world with my family and take my kids wherever I want and homeschool them and give them the best fucking quality steak and show them how to do pull-ups and love them dearly. I decided that as a man. I decided I'm going to make these changes because I truly care about making a different legacy for my family. I could see the way forward. And I could see the men around me in traditional business and they weren't happy. Some of them were making millions of dollars, but they were also spending their entire lives away from their families. I would trade in a couple of $100,000 a year to be a fully present family man and be there every day for my kids than a few $1 million and miss their whole childhood, because money will not buy your kids' lives back. It will not buy the years back that you miss. You can go out to the mines, you can make good money out there, but you sacrifice your quality of life. So my question for you is, all I've arrived at in a position is ask more questions and have better solutions to provide people. If you truly care about people and you ask them about where they're at, about their health, about their income, about their struggles, you'll find out that a lot of men are hurting right now. You're probably, a fair few of you are probably feeling that pain. I was there not so long ago, just over 2 years ago. And when you ask questions, you actually get to the core of what men want. And like Dave said, we all want freedom. And with this, you have the ability to create that freedom. And this is one of the most important questions that I've got with this. And it just rung so true when Dan asked me, if I kept going in my traditional business for another 5 years, would I be free? If you keep going in your job, or you keep going in the business that you've currently got, in 5 years, will you be free? Are you able to travel? Do you have passive income? Do you have, aligning with one of the best health products in the world, which is only going to multiply with the state of the world's health? Do you have that leverage? Because if you don't, you truly need to question where you're at. And by linking with guys who are doing it themselves and teaching others and being a part of a brotherhood, you're in the best position to grow. Like Dave said, the circle means so much. Your environment means so much. And for my children, I want my children surrounded by warriors. I want my children surrounded by humble, strong, healthy, passionate male figures in their life, men who I'm truly proud of. So if it's up to you, the ball's in your court. You've just got to make the decision on whether you take massive action or whether you go back to what you're doing and hope, cross your fingers that something actually changes. So that's it from me, fellas. That's from my heart. I truly care about all of you. I care for men. I care for our future. And if you're wanting to link arms, this opportunity is, I have not found anything better. So appreciate your time, Davo. Thank you very much for having me on, and Dano for jumping on as well, mate. Thank you for all your help. So epic.
Beautiful, Jordan. Awesome to have you here tonight. I'm just going to pass over to Dano to close out the call. Dan, I just want to thank you, especially Dan, for showing us what's possible. You know what I mean? Dano, wrapping up the call tonight.
Yeah, epic, guys. And thanks a lot for all the guys that have stayed on for this entire call. You guys haven't dropped off. So obviously you're looking for something more in life. So super proud of you guys for staying here. Super stoked that I get to link arms and do this business side by side with some incredible men. And Jordan and Dave, it's just been a pleasure. And there's some other men on here that are part of, my global team as well. But guys, like I said before, I'm just a normal guy. If you ever want to meet up face to face, anybody that's met me knows that I'm a no BS kind of guy. If you want to meet up, have a coffee, have a lunch, whatever you want to do, talk more about this business, brotherhood and legacy, where we're going in this. I'm a straight up kind of guy. So hit me up, send me a message. What we have is truly phenomenal. Absolutely changed my life in a massive way. And we're not slowing down, guys. We're about to absolutely put a rocket ship right under this company and help so many men become so friggin' financially free, so strong, and have a passion for life that flows into their relationship, their kids' life, and what their direction in where they're going. So guys, super stoked to be here with you all and fired up to be able to take this to the next level. Back to you, Davo.
All right, Dano, bloody fantastic call tonight. Thank you to everyone who's been here. And my closing thought for you men out there tonight is, do you know 4 or 5 men who need some hope again? Do you know 4 or 5 men who need to improve their health? Do you know 4 or 5 men who are struggling? And do you know 4 or 5 men who need to be around some good men and raise their standards? And if the answer to those is yes, you do, then we're going to build a fucking army. And we're going to have the strongest, wealthiest, healthiest motherfuckers making Aussie men great again, because the standard of Australian men out there has been heartbreaking to witness over the last 4 or 5 years. And we are on a mission to get back on track and make Aussie men great again. So if you've got some brothers out there who need some hope, reach out to them. And if you want to get started with us or you've got some more questions, either or, there's no hard sell from us. There is just full commitment to help you every single step of the way. So reach out to whoever invited you. God bless all you men for being here on this call tonight. I salute every single one of you for sticking around tonight. And I'm actually going to unmute the call. We're going to test this. We're going to unmute the call and just put some thanks and some love out there, gents. Let's see how we do this. I'm pretty sure everyone can unmute. Make some noise, fellas, and just thank our guests for being here tonight.
Thanks, guys. Thank
Cheers,
you.
legends.
Love your work, gents.
Bloody good. Thank you.
Boys, cheers.
Awesome, guys. Thank you.
Legends.
Legends.
Thank you.
Thanks, boys.
Epic call, guys.
Big love, brother, man. Big love, homie.
Thanks, legends.
Pleasure. Great to have you all.
Let's go get some shit done.
Get it.
Love it.